for us.
With all due respect, sir, I've been following the Dallas Cowboys since 1960, and I can speak for 90% of the people I've talked to. Your way of doing business the last 3 years is utterly failed. You just got through making this statement. You don't know of that one human being that can make the difference. Well, when are you going to step back and hire a general manager, a football man, a man that knows football, and then in turn stay out of the business of coaching this team?
Did you like those 3 Super Bowls?
You didn't.
Won in the last 10. You know how many people have won 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years?
You didn't.
Did you enjoy those?
You know nothing about
it. I hope you did. I hope you did very much. Let me say one other thing to you. The day I step down is the day I don't have the football team. That's the deal that I made with you the first night I ever walked in here. In order to do what I do, I'm going to make the final calls. That's the way it's been since the day that I walked in here. And so that's the point. You want me to make the kind of commitments that it takes to go out here and get the job done. What you want me to do is stand back and write checks. By the way, that doesn't work either.
Is that old? That's older, right?
We're back. That audio?
Yeah,
that's from when the ticket had the they were the flagship station. They had a weekly on the morning show.
Okay, right when he used
and
to
he
take
actually
the
he would actually take calls live on the air.
Let's say, man, I haven't heard him sound that young in a long time, man. There was some spry in that voice. I haven't heard in a minute, Jer Bear.
And obviously, that's going to be really relevant to something that I'm sure we'll touch on here this week. But obviously, I thought the key line there was the day that he no longer has the football team, which obviously
so when he's going to be fucking 6 feet under.
There's that. But anyways,
there's a lot of theories
there. We're back.
I'm scared that Elon Musk is getting closer to making it possible for him to be there longer than I'm on this earth.
And I just want to be. I would rather it be Futurama style where he's in a jar. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead.
That would be hilarious.
Immediately hand this thing off to C's to get us cracking on the NFL.
You lose it, you never win.
Oh, boy!
That stuff is...
Yeah!
Yeah, we have trade to talk about, baby. This is a great way to start
Cam Akers.
That's right. We're going to lead things off with Cam Akers, who's not a very good running back, filling in the number 2 or 3 role in Minnesota. Just kidding. But he did get sent to Minnesota from the Texans for yet another round.
All right, but put your fantasy football cap on. How does this affect fantasy football players?
It doesn't.
You got to be in a really effed up league for.
Yeah, you got to be in some fucked up league where you're relying on Cam Akers to help you out and win some games.
What
anyway,
if folks are desperate? You never know.
Yeah, some leagues are desperate. I've seen some really bad ones out there. Listen, we're here to talk about the real stars of the show, the divas of the NFL. We're talking about wide receivers. And we've had 2 major wide receivers get traded on the same day, it felt like. Or right back to back.
It was within an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah, something
crazy.
Yeah,
I thought it was the trade deadline. I was like, what the fuck already?
Now, as this trade happened, it really ruined the aging of this particular video that I had ready post Monday Night Football, and I'm just gonna play it anyway because I just enjoy it.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit.
I think it's still relevant.
Still possible that that's the end result.
Still possible, but
I don't know that this move is really the answer to their problems, but
well, no, but at least they are now trying to do something else aside from firing Robert Saleh.
Literally more than 0. You're right.
Yeah. No, their offense did look semi-functional on Monday Night Football, more so compared to the previous couple of games that they had throughout the year. But let's just talk about the move in general. So, Devontae Adams magically healed from his hamstring injury and is ready to play for the New York Jets, where he got traded for a 2nd-round pick, I believe. Or was it a 3rd-round pick? I just lost my tab there. Either way, he gets traded for not a whole lot, considering his namesake. However, he is a
Gets
32.
traded for basically what he was drafted as.
Oh, so it's a 3rd-round pick that can move into a 2nd-round pick if they make it to the AFC Championship game, or if he hits like some other play.
If he makes like a first, if he makes an All-Pro team, I believe.
All-Pro, yeah.
Yeah, which at this point in the season, it may be difficult unless Aaron Rodgers spams the shit out of Davante Adams, which he's very capable of doing. He's done so in the past. But yeah, Davante Adams
And Mike
moves
Williams
from the
is
Raiders
hurt actually this week.
Hurt.
Yeah,
After that drop
hurt.
pass.
He got hit by a bus.
Oh, well, the team bus probably.
That's the one he got.
We don't know who he got. We don't know who was the driver behind that bus.
Well, we know he threw him under.
No, I saw the driver. It was clearly a bearded man smoking ayahuasca.
There you go.
Pretty
Aaron
sure
Rodgers-
RFK Jr. was in the passenger seat.
I was gonna say, I think
There might have been a dead bear in the car.
I think. Oh God, what is that guy's
what's up?
name? Now I forgot that guy's name. McAfee's little silent friend.
Oh, AJ Hawk.
AJ Hawk's driving the bus.
AJ
for
Hawk?
sure.
All right, I'm doing AJ Hawk mode.
Smoking a cigar. You need a cigar in your mouth.
Your camera's too high quality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Somehow
Close
with
enough.
the ESPN budget.
The Benjamin baby. But yeah, so he goes over to the New York Jets and is already announced to be playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jets Steelers going on. Let's be real. This does wreak a little bit of desperation on the Jets' part. And also does not help the allegations of Aaron Rodgers having a lot of pull with that organization.
It
But hey, I mean, someone was going to
question
trade
of
for
who
him.
was the jackass last week a little. It starts to lean the tips a little bit more into Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
It does. No, I wouldn't say I'm shocked by the trade or anything. The Jets immediately came to mind whenever Davante Adams trade rumors were coming up. I would have preferred to see him I don't know, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, just somewhere where
I mean, there are only 2 teams he's
maybe he
going
has
to
a
go to, and the other one's quarterback is hurt. So
Yeah.
or
only
the
has 2
Bills.
friends.
But you know what? Yeah, he doesn't really have a whole ton of people he can go to. But listen, speaking of the Bills, as a could have been destination for Davante Adams, they get Amari Cooper, and
The Super Cooper.
Kind of shit on Jerry Jones, the GM. They traded more for Cooper than the Browns did the first time around. Now listen, I don't think that's a responsible use of assets, right? Spending a 3rd round
For the Bills?
for the Bills, right?
I
But
mean,
it's a bit of an
I think the
overpay.
way
I feel like you
they're-
got him for less.
Man, I
Maybe.
need
They're looking at this like this is our best chance. The Chiefs aren't.
No. This is
I don't
I don't
believe
think this
you.
is their best chances. This is the Bills weird semi-rebuild but still be competitive.
I
Because
don't
you look
understand.
at the offensive. You look at their offensive weapons; they don't have anything.
Well,
I
now they
understand
do.
Amari
Now they
Cooper's
do,
not
yes.
perfect. Amari Cooper's not perfect, but bro,
No, he makes
Come
everybody
on.
better. There's some.
I'm just
Come
gonna say
on.
no. The only reason I say that is
He's
because
really
I just,
good.
me personally, I don't want to trade a bunch for a 30-year-old wide
he's a
receiver.
Dallas Cowboy if Jerry's
And
not
especially
racist,
one
you
who,
know what I
like,
mean?
And
You're-
and on top of that, he always wears out his welcome. Weirdly enough,
No,
Everywhere he's been.
do not
He
blame
did
Jerry's
not do that
racism on
here.
Dallas. Do not, that we all know what happened. There was some COVID
Well,
bullshit.
not just Dallas, but Raiders,
There was some,
and now the
no,
Browns.
the Raiders sucked. He had every reason to want out of that.
Tell
was
me one person who's enjoyed their stay with the Raiders
Yeah, and
in
Jerry,
the last 20 years.
Jerry, 100% not like the way that Amari Cooper.
Or whatever kickers got paid a bunch to be there.
Amari Cooper played the game, and Jerry's cheap. The 2 things came colliding into the wrong world. Otherwise, Cooper should have been a lifetime Cowboy because that guy was so fucking good. I don't care about injuries. I don't care about.
I would argue that he
bullshit.
should still be a Cowboy, but it didn't happen, unfortunately.
No, like I said, it was not a football related.
He's
move, in my
awesome,
opinion.
and I
It
think
was not
this is an awesome move for the Bills. It's also hilarious that as the Browns are doubling down on Deshaun Watson, they're getting rid of the only option that he had to get the ball to. I guess Chubb.
I mean,
might be
The
honestly,
only
Patrick-
person that had a touchdown on the offense.
But Patrick,
you know who leads the team in touchdowns is their safety, Rodney McLeod.
But here's the thing. So Patrick, here's the thing though. you have to be realistic if you're Cleveland, right? I know it's hard to be realistic, but you have to be realistic. You have 3 years. Patrick, you're stuck with this quarterback contract for 3 years for the most part. Unless some idiot team bails you out. I understand, but I need that 3rd-round pick. I need whatever you can get me because that might need to be my starting guard. I got to patchwork quilt a football team together.
True.
I need to dump assets and rebuild this thing.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just a funny thing to think that while the coach has to sit there and double down every week and be like, I'd stick by this guy.
Think about all the defensive talent that is either going to be traded off this roster at the end of this deadline or by the end of next season. That's incredible, man.
Well, I don't know because it all comes down to what the owner's going to let them do. So
I hear that. I don't know. Full tank isn't necessarily a thing in football because honestly, with an offense as bad as they have,
Haslam's not going to have a fire sale.
Well, and if the offense continues to be this bad, even if they get the running game going and that saves the day a little bit, which it probably will, like Deshaun Watson will probably be better.
They won't be the worst team in the league,
because at least Deshaun can try to be Daniel Jones at that point, right?
They'll separate themselves from Carolina, New England, and Jacksonville.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson just needs to try to elevate to Daniel Jones status. That's really all they're asking at this point with the running game going back.
That is rough. Now, while we talk about this a little bit more, Patrick, can you look up when the trade deadline is? Because
it's November 5th. I got you because like I said, I thought it was the deadline when this was all happening. I was like, oh my god, it's not till November 5th. There's still a long time.
Okay, so if it's November 5th, then look at this. There's plenty of pieces on that defense. I'm begging you, Howie Roseman, make a move for Myles Garrett. I want to see somebody who can actually get a sack on a good team against a good team. But anyway, so the Bills are paying for what I feel is going to be a rental unless they can secure Cooper for the remainder of his career. Otherwise, it might be a little bit of
I think he's an easygoing guy. I don't see why he wouldn't play in Buffalo.
Full roster as a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah,
and here's the thing. It's not like what's his name? Josh Allen has anywhere else to go with the ball, so he can get volume. He can become the.
No, he's got the. There's a little. Yeah, Gabe Davis isn't there anymore.
Oh, he's gone. You're right.
Shakir,
which he's on our lowlights, by the way.
The Shakir guy. They've got a little slot receiver that's. He's nice though. With Cooper now, that'll be really nice. That'll be much better use of a player.
We should have mentioned earlier that the Raiders are not paying any of Devontae Adams' salary after that trade. The Jets took the whole thing on. So
the Jets
that's really the biggest part of it. No matter what they get out of it, the third or the second, that's huge.
Yeah.
So,
I think the only thing the Raiders are on the hook for is just the cap penalty, and that's about it. Now, I don't even think it's that high of a cap penalty.
You think amongst all the bitching and the pile on for Jerry right now is Woody Johnson just absolutely doing whatever comes to like literally the most impulsive thing that can happen? He's like, do it. Boom. Not too impulsive for the Woodmeister. Boom.
The Woodmeister.
What if I saw this somewhere on Twitter. Someone's like, what if this is just a giant ploy by Aaron Rodgers to ruin Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals? And I was like,
I would say he doesn't understand the value of Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I think it's still just a funny bit. The idea that
it absolutely is hilarious to think of Rodgers coming in to try to tank big pharma they're not even just pharma, they're big everything.
Yeah, that's
only to realize that this is literally just like a scrap of play toys that they have.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong with that one. All right, now guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to I know I have the rundown. We're going to pour one out for a player that's out, but I wanted to talk about something that's still very topical, as this just broke earlier today, I believe, or I think it was just sometime yesterday. And the only way that I can lead it in is with this to see if our audience can kind of get the context of what I'm about to talk about.
But you can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed?
Yeah, for real.
Might be getting better, fellas.
Did I miss something?
You did.
Yeah, it looks like. It looks like they're inching towards Russell Wilson potentially starting.
Oh,
yeah, the corpse of Russell Wilson, Mr. Dangerous, Mr. Unlimited, has for the first time had a healthy week of practice, or consecutive healthy weeks of practice, to the point where now Mike Tomlin is comfortable with giving him first team reps. When pressed about if Russell Wilson will be the starter in their next game against the Jets, he said it's going to be a game time decision. And then when asked what happened with Justin Fields, that he felt the need to make a move like this, all he could really say was, Justin Fields has done some very good things, but he's wanting for great things, which made me laugh because Russell Wilson has not been great for a very, very long time.
Probably not the word I would have used.
And here's the thing.
Again,
you look at the weapons that they have to work with. Just any quarterback, you throw any quarterback in there, you have a beat up offensive line, and you have a bunch of just whatever guys, and George Pickens, if he feels like showing up on a Sunday, if he does. So it's not a great situation for any quarterback to run into. And the fact that you're 4-2 is just, come on, man.
I'm just saying, the Jets is going to be tough. They've got a solid defense. They can potentially score points now. Your team can't necessarily as well, which has been kind of the Steelers' issue and why they're probably looking at this option. But then you get the Giants. And you know what happens in between the Giants and them playing the Commanders? Trade deadline.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, it's not the worst idea if maybe potentially the Jets make Justin Fields look a little human. Dangerous gets to come in, look a little decent. Then maybe even get to play the Giants game. Maybe look pretty good there. And then all of a sudden, maybe you can find a buyer. Maybe Miami is desperate. Maybe Tua's results aren't coming back the way.
Well, who knows? We'll see what they have in mind. I think just in general, without the whole theory of it's to wheel him out to see if you can flip him for something. I think generally it's just a bad move, because it's just if you're gonna put somebody out there with less than ideal circumstances, you want like a young guy with a bunch of raw tools to work with, which Justin Fields has, and Russell Wilson doesn't anymore, unfortunately. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. We're gonna pour one out for that boy Aiden Hutchinson, who broke his fibula, had a really nasty, gruesome injury against the Dallas Cowboys.
No, don't bury the lead.
It's fibula and tibula, right?
And tibula, I think.
And not just against the Dallas Cowboys. Sacking Dak Prescott specifically, which feels very important to know given the history.
Oh yeah, and it felt really so. Watching that game, whenever that happened, I couldn't help but think. In the same building
too. If you really want to go further,
I couldn't help but think about that, and I was like, man, the same field that Dak Prescott had that horrific injury. Something about it felt eerie in that moment. Thinking about it, and then if you guys, I don't think they showed it on the broadcast, but somebody did find it. What happened to his leg, and it is so gross. It almost looks like his leg flattens up against one of his teammates' legs, and oh my god, man, I felt bad for the guy because he was on a tear this season. I believe he led the league in sacks, pressure rates, QB hits, every advanced metric that you want to see from a defensive end. He was either the leader or in the tops of those said categories. So feel bad for him. Feel a little bad for the Lions, who look like they're on a roll right now, especially in the most competitive division in football right now, and an already shaky defense.
Four best teams in the NFL,
point differential wise as well, which is really just insane to think about that from the NFC North, but not too surprising.
Don't worry, it's coming back down to earth soon.
You say that, but we don't know.
I don't know who necessarily, but some of these teams are coming back down to earth soon.
Well, we'll find out, because if anything, there's 3 legitimate contenders, I think, coming out of the North now, with the Chicago Bears kind of being that sore thumb that might be the one to come back down to earth. But anyway, let's move
I
on.
don't know. Apparently, they have the greatest tight end of all time. So,
Oh, what? The Bears?
The Bears.
how many players have you ever heard of that have scored a touchdown, then immediately ran and snapped the extra point?
I've seen it in high school.
Yeah, that's terrible. That'd be awful.
I've seen it I think I've seen it in college once or twice. But anyway, the last bit of our quick news and notes, gentlemen, it is official. Tom Brady has been approved by NFL owners to be a part-time owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. So now he officially is not allowed to do really anything as a broadcaster other than to show up on Sundays.
What a gig.
And just he can't go to production meetings. He can't do anything really. No prep time. He just shows up and vibes. Great gig if you can get it. So there we go. It is official. His playing career is done for sure now.
Unless he just sells out the
and honestly,
stake in ownership and then goes back to playing.
Which
but honestly,
might take a long time.
I'm still trying to wonder, like, maybe he does still leave after 1 year of broadcasting.
He could.
Because maybe this really
like
handicaps it a lot and makes it like less fun for him, or makes it to where he knows that like he can't deliver the job that he wants to.
Or maybe he's just really tired of covering the Dallas Cowboys, because I think he's done like four games.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get used to that working that Fox gig, buddy. You better
like, how many of these games are you?
Hey, but what if? Hey, but maybe he gets to talk shit about his former coach moving forward next year. So who knows?
Who knows?
knows?
Wait, he can't. He is not allowed to criticize.
Right. He can't even criticize. Yeah,
he can't criticize
really
anybody in the NFL
which
or
seems
officials.
Impossible to actually.
Yeah, like, because I need his
arbitrate
criticism of quarterbacks at least. That's the best thing that we get from it.
The color analyst has to say things that aren't going right, but it's just stating that something isn't right. A criticism, or is it a statement of fact? I don't really know.
His lawyers are working on that right now.
I bet it won't ever be a problem.
We will.
Well, it depends on what he says and who he says it about.
Yeah, we'll see.
Give him a couple more of these. Give him a couple more of these Cowboy games.
He was already too clean cut. He was never going to do anything to hurt his image.
Give him a couple more of these Cowboy games, and he might say some shit about Jerry that could get this thing going.
We can only hope. No,
we could only hope.
Maybe if you could get him to drink a couple like White Claws, probably only takes one or two for him.
Oh man, I feel like White Claws have too many carbs for him. He's gonna need like a Michelob.
Sure.
Have him crack a cold one of those. Anyway, guys, now we're gonna move in from our quick news and notes to looking at our PTR picks standings, baby.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
Standings because somebody messed up the graphic.
It's not the guy who's leading the standings, I don't think. But yeah, look at this.
Jason Garrett.
Look at this guy pulling back to 500.
I want our audience to just
like
really
the Dallas
look at
Cowboys.
the scores, though. Look at this. Our worst record, 10-4. I went 12-2. Becky went 11-3. This was the best week by far after a miserable week last week. We killed it.
And
we absolutely did a great job.
"Quote unquote" worst overall game picker is Split. He's a push. We're doing well.
We're doing way better than Bill Simmons.
We're learning ball.
In general, we're doing great. Doesn't he do like weird stuff though? Like his is all based off like gambling lines.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
does gambling.
Like, but it's not even like straight
like
spreads.
$1 million picks.
Yeah, he does weird stuff, which is fun. I get it. You're tired of doing the normal stuff.
Listen.
I think
if anything,
this week.
we don't really put that much.
I did have a question for you guys this week. So, if I think that Denver and New Orleans might tie, do I get any kind of bonus for predicting a tie?
No, not at all.
I mean,
You just get a W. You get a W.
If they just non off on Thursday night, because that's just going to be a disgusting game.
And we will talk about that game later, unfortunately. But you don't get anything special.
I do currently have tie written in, but I'll probably pick one of the two of them tomorrow morning.
Because just predicting a tie is sicko behavior first and foremost. They're so statistically unlikely
but
to happen.
They're not as rare as you think.
They're not as rare, but they're not that common. I mean, we've had
true.
seasons without ties.
That's true.
So, but we can talk about that. There can be more discussion off camera about that. Now, gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Oh, what's happening?
Here's the first attempt at an intro for this little bit. Just terrible mashup of highlights and lowlights by Kanye West. All right, go ahead.
We got our highlights and we got our lowlights of the week. This week we are jam-packed with highlights and lowlights. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna give everybody the heads up. The highlights have audio or don't have audio except for one, and then all the lowlights have audio, so we won't be able to commentate on them as they happen. But with that said, let's all get started. I wasn't sure with this first clip, y'all, if I wanted to put it as an Eagles lowlight or a Browns highlight, but then I decided, no, this is one of the few positives that the Browns had. So let's play this play.
From 57, it's blocked. Blocked by Myles Garrett. Wow. And it's
Mr. Do-It-All.
Wow. That wow at the end was so funny. Jonathan Vilma, you just lack so much charisma as a color commentator. But listen, that was a beautiful block kicked from Myles Garrett. And then Rodney McLeod, former Eagle, takes it to the house. He is the official leader in the clubhouse, the Cleveland Browns clubhouse, in touchdowns this season with 2. That is a sad state of affairs in Cleveland, more so than they usually are used to.
They've been 0-16. They went 1-31 over 2 years, and I feel worse about them now.
Right? Like just as a team, I don't feel bad for the organization itself.
No, but the lovely people of Cleveland don't deserve this.
Except for the ones that were rooting for Deshaun Watson to work out.
Or the ones who burned the LeBron jerseys. They deserve this.
As well, yeah. And I think the rest, I believe the rest should not have any audio. I forgot I didn't take that one out. All right, here we go. The Broncos have a rare highlight this season, gentlemen, and rightfully so, because look at this beautiful catch from SMU's Cortland Sutton. Oh my God. That was a beautiful one-handed.
That was nice.
Right.
One-handed
bad throw
in the back of the end zone. Yep. Touchdown,
Yep, bad throw, amazing catch.
I don't know. I mean, if he put it in a spot where only the receiver can get it, and that's what you want.
I think he put it in a spot where he didn't think anybody could get it, and Cortland Sutton proved him wrong. Now, we have that one. Same game. There is also a really great play here. Please tell me there is no audio. There is no audio. This one from Justin Herbert to Dallas Cowboys legend Simi Puhoku.
Simi.
What an incredible catch. I didn't realize this guy was out of the league for a season or two after getting cut from Dallas. So, good on him.
Was he ever on the NFL roster?
Yeah, I think he did a couple times. He was actually unfortunate, though, because he definitely was just on 2 stacked of a receiving core for quite a bit there. I think there was only his rookie year that he would have had a shot.
He was a guy that got a lot of preseason hype from fans.
He had played well in preseason, but he never got a shot. And I mean, that's just their style.
He appeared. Okay, so as a rookie, he appeared in 5 games, mostly on special team, no stats. Declared inactive for the playoff game. 2022 he appeared in 5 games. Then he got hurt, and then he was waived in 2023. Was on the Steelers last year on the practice squad with his cousin, Braden Fehoko.
Oh, nice.
And then we have another Fehoko on the team too. Those are just all the Fehokos.
How many of them do you have? Jeez.
Oh, he has a cousin who's a nose tackle who he was on a team with. No, did I say brother?
You said brother, yeah.
It's his cousin. Sorry.
Anyway, very, very coincidental that there's two Fahokus in the league at the same time. Now, this one, Matt,
cousin, and say brother. Oh
well. Who knows? Maybe they think of each other as brother. Now, gentlemen, this one I actually do have the audio. I should have the audio for because it is a very rare punting highlight.
Indeed, he is an excellent offensive mind. Rigoberto Sanchez, good punt, trying to angle this thing. Wow. Unbelievable. That's why you go out and pay a punter.
And that's the only reason that I have the audio for that, because I have never heard, and that's why you go pay a punter. But that was a beautiful punt that just died inside the 5-yard line.
That's the goal.
That was chef's kiss. That might be the only time we get a punting highlight on the pro
I don't know
side.
if you noticed, if you look at that was a different drop kick than most guys normally do. It looked real flat and low to the ground.
Yeah, it looked really
that was
weird,
an interesting launch angle.
Yeah, and he didn't get much of a walk up for it either, like other punters do. So that was a great punt for you, Rigoberto Sanchez, who I have listed as Mr. Dirty Sanchez, because that punt was filthy. Now, gentlemen, this is a rare highlight from a Carolina Panthers game, and it comes courtesy of Tyler Algier, because this man just could not be taken to the ground. Look how he drags these people for so many yards. Not just the Carolina Panthers, but his own teammates as well. That is some hard-nosed football. I fucking love it.
Those Panthers uniforms are gross.
Oh, they are. But you know what? It gets even grosser because there's still yet another highlight from that game. And it comes courtesy
I don't mind it.
of the Red Rocket himself. He takes off. Now, the only reason this is a highlight is because old ass Andy Dalton broke a tackle and managed to scramble for some positive yards here.
Doolin Dalton.
Got some wheels on him. He might have pulled a hamstring on that one. He had to go take an ice bath or something. Now, probably the least impressive highlight, just based on the stats, but contextually, I feel like there was something there. But this one right here, Bethke, look away. You don't want to see this one. You don't want to be reminded of what happened in this game. Hickory dickory, we got some trickery, as Trap House Sports would say. Oh man, double lateral
trick
flea
play
flicker.
1 of 15 in that game.
1 of 15. I honestly, I wanted to put the offensive lineman ones in here, but they didn't result in it. Whoa, where did he go? Our producer's gone. He is gone. He's trying to make his way back.
Oh my god, it's all messed up.
There we go. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully we didn't lose any audio on our end.
No, you're good. We're good.
But yeah, that was one of a bajillion trick plays, but that one actually led to a touchdown. Therefore, it gets to make it into the highlight reel. Now, we have 2 more highlights. Bethke, you can look at this one because your boy Tolbert, he went up and he got airborne for this catch. Look at this shit. Just right in front of the defender. He really boxed him out in midair. Very impressive. One of the few highlights for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was going to say, what was the score at that point?
Yeah, honestly, and it's one of those things where it's like Tolbert being decent this year is like nice. It's like, cool, so we're right. So then you're still not playing the Flournoy kid, even though we're all of us who said that kid's probably pretty good, needs the players. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure the same thing's happening with the other guy, and you're still not playing him. But the other guy ran into the other guy on the route, and then that.
Well, guess what, Bethke? We will get to see a little bit of Flournoy here in a little bit, but right now we're going to see some Rashid Shaheed. I love a good old return for touchdown, and we got one courtesy of the Saints. Rashid Shaheed just speeds right through the defenders. Doesn't really even make anybody miss. He's just outrunning them. Goes untouched for the punt return for touchdown. Gentlemen, as you know the drill already, we should tell the viewing audience what we thought was the highlight of the week. And so, you know what, Becky? We'll let you lead it off. What was your favorite of the selected highlights?
I like when the Browns did something that was bad that made the Eagles bad, and that was good.
That's fair. A blocked field goal, return for touchdown. It's a rare play indeed. Patrick, what do you got for me?
I'll take that punt.
All right, Pat McAfee.
Oh, guess what? I'll take the punt too. I love seeing a Latino succeed.
Indeed, he is an excellent.
Sorry,
this is a special teams podcast.
I forgot. I forgot the audio would cut you off.
No, you're good. You could have played it if you wanted to, but it's too late now.
Oh,
because we're moving to our favorite segment, and I want to show off the segment's mascot. It is the Will Levis collage of failure, and I just love every single.
That man's leg.
This man is a legend. He is a legend. I want a 30 for 30 special on his.
I feel like the teabag one's unfair though, because they all get teabagged if we're being real.
It doesn't matter. We added to his. We need to add to his legend, and we need to quickly take a look inside the brain of Will Levis.
Part of that. Part of that position literally requires you to stick your hand on a guy's taint. So
it's true.
Although not so much as they used to. We're spreading it out.
Well,
spread the offense, not the cheeks.
I was gonna say those cheeks are already spread out in that stance. Gentlemen, since he is the mascot, he is the guy, the spiritual leader, if you will, in the low light clubhouse. It's only fair that we start off with his low lights this season or this week, which he has two. I actually had him down for 3, but I was like, the other one's not as entertaining. This one right here.
Big passing numbers to wide receivers outside the numbers this season.
Can Levis and company take advantage of some of that? Levis here, going to take his shot, throws into a crowd, and it is picked.
That's a little airmail.
A little airmail, not the worst interception that you could possibly throw, but it's still an interception nonetheless, which I believe he leads the league in. If not, he is near tops.
That reminds me of watching the March Madness when like a 5'6" point guard from some mid-major thinks he's gonna get to the paint against like Duke, just swatted to hell.
Yeah, it was not a good look for our boy Will Levis there, especially coming back from injury there. Now, guys, this is the real low light. You never want to see this happen to anybody. But Will Levis has effectively ended the season for a ball boy in Tennessee. Let's see what the audio has to say, because I don't think they captured it. But. Tore that man's ACL. He got carted off, put in a leg cast. Will Levis, man, you are one of one. You are one of one. All right. Now,
at least Mahomes does it to the other guys who make millions of dollars.
True. Now, I'm not one to always be there for low-hanging fruit, but because you've mentioned his name so much, Bethke, I couldn't help it once I saw him play, and I was like, I saw this play happen. I was like, I got to put this on the low lights just because you talked about him quite a bit. And that's your boy Flournoy.
Prescott, near side, has a catch right into the sunshine and a good one. And then a fumble, and Detroit is going to pick it up. The first NFL.
Real low light? Not really, but it is just something I was like, I'll throw it in there.
Was that his first catch?
This is why Eagles fans are always mad as shit.
That is a low light.
You guys are over here making but you're okay. All right, okay. That's fine. I'm gonna let you keep
first NFL catch.
All right, man. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna tell the kid he needs to think about what wise men say.
Less thinking equals talent take over.
Well, now here's the thing. I don't think Flournoy was thinking at all. Is the problem? Don't carry the ball in your inside hand when you're that close to the sideline.
This kid played at fucking buttfuck state, man.
And you have so much high hopes for him. That's the
I don't know, bro. I feel like right now there is a little bit of insecurity coming out in your football team, and you're picking on my stupid one as a result. And that's fine.
No.
So you can do it.
It's not a
mine's
little
stupid
bit
enough to do it. But
No,
I'm gonna be honest
I've
with
made
you. That was a decision based on you being mad about a win. I'm not even mad about a loss because my team's so stupid. I'm good with it.
Listen,
you're mad about a win, and now it's coming out. It's coming out.
It's not even. Listen,
it's coming out.
It was low hanging fruit. I even said it. I don't know what you want me to say.
It's coming out.
I think you're projecting now. But anyway, we got to talk about this team right here, gentlemen. These are going to be some long clips. I want to give you guys a heads up. Why? Because one of them is going to show just a long reel of drop passes. This might be the worst receiving core in the NFL. But first, guys, this first low light from the Jaguars, I want you to pay attention to Leonard Floyd. I think that's Leonard Floyd? No. Whatever. You'll see who I'm talking about. Check this, number 33.
The fake to Keenan Allen on the left. The fake to Swift on the right. You see the linebackers not knowing where to go. Fournette just sneaks down the middle. Easy pitch and catch in the big time.
That's the low light of culture and hustle,
what did he do
baby.
next?
He did absolutely jack shit. Did not run towards the ball. Didn't really. He just jogged the entire way.
Did I miss something? What the fuck did I miss there?
You missed number 33 just absolutely quitting on the play as soon as it started. He jogged towards the
I thought you said something about a receiving course, so then I'm over here like.
Oh yeah, no. What I said was the receiving course is going to be the bulk of the low lights here.
I got you. Okay.
Because
Leonard
here,
Floyd, my brain was like, "What? It was a catch. It looked good. It was a good play."
Yeah, okay. No. It was a good play by the Bears. It's a bad play by the Jags defender there. And another thing, I'm not mad. Please don't put in the newspaper that I got mad. That's funny. Now, gentlemen, here starts the low lights for the Jaguars offense.
On both sides, and we got to keep doing a good job on third down and just play good situational ball.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Well, there's some situational ball as that is being ruled a catch and fumble by Evans.
That's a catch. That's a drop pass, and that was honestly a very weak fumble right there. Like barely any contact, right? You're just, what are you doing there? Like you caught the ball and you fumble it without it getting forced out of your hand. Now here's the receiving core. This is Jags low light, number 3, where there is 8 dropped passes in this highlight alone, or low light. So here we go. This one doesn't have any sound. We got 1 drop touchdown pass right there. So bad. They showed it twice. Here we go with yet another dropped pass. Could have been a touchdown. Woo, buddy. Number 0 is having a bad day. Yep. This one, again, what is happening here? This one, I believe, was Gabe Davis.
No, this is whoever 7 is. Davis is 0.
Oh, there you go. And then,
it's Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk hits him right in the face mask, man. Just, people have been shitting
at least
on.
That one had like a defender kind of near the ball.
Still, man, those were.
They don't want to go to his birthday party. That's the problem.
4 drop touchdown passes is what I meant to say, not 8 drop passes. But yeah, man, that was ugly. Not as ugly though, maybe aesthetically, as this Steelers low light. We saw the Lions with some trickery. Steelers, they couldn't pull it off.
Las Vegas with a 1-point lead. Trickery. Back for Fields. That didn't work. Get it out of the playbook.
Get that out of there. That was pretty bad. That one had no shot of working.
Russell Wilson wouldn't have gotten sacked there.
Oh yeah, he would. What the fuck? Okay. Anyway, Saints. They had a highlight, but they also have this low light right here, baby. No sound on this one either. Wow, look at that. Look at this defense. Just what is happening here? Just the worst attempted tackle by number, I believe it was Paulson Debo. We're going to look at that again because this corner has a chance to make the play. 25 right there. 29 has a chance and just, God, what that was pathetic. But you know what?
People that probably should be not happy with their performance.
I'm very happy though because I picked the Bucs to win. that game, and I was sweating that one out because I actually had money on that game. But that's neither here nor there. Now, the last of the lowlights, gentlemen, courtesy of the Houston Texans.
Pats with 5 in the secondary. Time for Stroud. End zone, bobbled, intercepted on the ricochet. Marcus Jones, he'll bring it out, and he's got speed, knifing his way upfield.
Damn, was that Smartwitten? Who was that? Was that Schultz?
It could have been Schultz. I don't know if they said it on the broadcast. We could play one more time, just up to the point.
Pats with 5 in the secondary. Time for Stroud. End zone, bobbled, intercepted on the ricochet. Marcus.
Yeah, that's why Prescott told him not to re-sign his ass. He did that shit to Dak a lot. It looked like he's a good tight end, bro, but he's got like some sort of superhuman ability to fucking just. I've seen Dalton Schultz cause that a few times. Poor God love him, talented player, but fuck.
That was rough, man. You hot potatoed that straight into the defense's arms. And it didn't really amount to anything since the Texans did whoop that ass. They put belt to ass on that game. But gentlemen, it is now time for us to declare the winner of the lowlights. I'm going to lead things off, and I'm going to say it's Will Levis breaking the knee of a poor ball boy, or a ball man in this case, because it looked like a grown-ass man there. You know, you hate to see it. But it's only going to continue to add to his infamy. So that's going to be one of mine right there. But gentlemen, I would love to hear yours.
Ryan Flournoy, because we stick with each other through thick and thin.
There you go.
That's tough. I'll also go with Will Levis.
Giving up big passing numbers to wide receivers outside the numbers this season.
Can Levis and company take advantage of some of that? Levis here going to take his shot, throws into a crowd, and it is picked. Julian Blackman.
Nothing wrong with a little YOLO ball.
I forgot he had 2 lowlights. But that was actually, I forgot about that one, and that probably should be the one I picked, because that is, usually the YOLO ball isn't 15 yards down the field and you throw it up that high in the air. It's a really weird looking play.
It was technically a sideline throw. The problem was that it was a little bit too much of a duck.
He was like playing jackpot with his friends.
And I guarantee you, he did not know where the safety was, because if you watch the play, he's immediately getting
his name is Will Levis.
Well, yes, but if you watch the play, he's immediately getting knocked the fuck out as soon as he throws that ball. Like that, there's a dude in his face as soon as he YOLOs that ball.
Oh yeah,
that was 10 out of 10 YOLO.
Keep it up, Will Levis. We love you.
I think it went something like this.
It did go something a little like that. Now, gentlemen, it is time to recap the games that were, at least for the hosts. Because we had one team on a bye week, the Minnesota Vikings, continue to be undefeated.
The Minnesota Vikings.
And now we talk about the teams that did actually played. And we're going to start off with the first game of the week, or the first game of Sunday's slate was Philadelphia against the Cleveland Browns. And we got to show the winning play from this game.
From the Browns 45. Hurts complete. Wide open. Smith down the sideline. Devontae Smith into the end zone for an
That's how they fucking won the game.
That's how they won the game, baby.
Now I know why y'all are mad. Cleveland sucks shit fucking balls, bro. What the fuck?
Yes, sir.
They have a win, too.
They have a win.
Who they beat?
They beat the... No, they didn't.
Was it Carolina?
No, it wasn't Carolina.
Oh,
actually, I think they beat the Giants.
I got you. 1 second.
It was
that was amazing.
They beat the Jags.
Yeah,
the Jaguars. Oh my God, that's crazy, bro.
The Jags, who themselves only have one win.
You didn't see the box score?
No, I had seen the score. I didn't know how it happened. I didn't realize that they checked down to one of the better receivers, and he just fucking strolled in.
So one of the
I didn't know that.
One of the memes going on, one of the new memes in Philadelphia internet fandom is oh shit, man, we can't get the offense going, and then it shows Kellen Moore. I know, call mesh, and just
with some talent like that.
It's a good tool in Madden also. So,
but it's also like really troubling that defense just had no resistance to that play whatsoever.
Not at all.
Gee, that poor defense has been on the field the entire season.
Ooh, that's tough.
They held the Eagles to 20 points. Like, what more do you want?
That play right there might have got Deshaun Watson's ass beat in the locker room. We just don't know about. They did it with soap, and they put the soap bars in the
jacket.
Yeah. Now, as much as Bethany's making fun of the team, he has every right, because god damn it, this game was so horrible to watch, man. It was a miserable watching experience outside of 3 plays. Those 3 plays, that mesh play right there to Devonta Smith, a slot fade to A.J. Brown, and then another fade to A.J. Brown to seal the game. Otherwise, it was miserable all the way around because the Browns weren't going to make it exciting. They never did. And then the Eagles' offense was just really fucking stymied by the Browns' defense. And that's still a good fucking defense. So it was just, all right, no points, no real chaos. But man, you know what? And I debated putting the video on here of Nick Sirianni making himself look like a jackass. But I'm like, that's going to circulate enough.
Wasn't hiding about his child.
There was that in the press conference. That was a weird fucking press conference. I actually watched that one. And I was just flabbergasted.
What about today, where he was just standing nobly while many men played over the loud? I mean, it was practice. It wasn't like that weird, but it was also. It kind of felt like he knew the camera was watching.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch that one, but I'm not surprised, man. I did know that he had a shirt pandering towards Ring Blankenship or whatever, but man, the guy is just. It's an all-time bad vibes team. We suck. We're not very good.
He's just trying to hold it all together, man.
And I don't think he's going to. I think he's in a bad place mentally, spiritually, all that shit. I'm just like, brother, you just learned something. You have zero control over the football team that you thought is yours. It is not yours. It was never yours to begin with. You should have never been put in this position. That's not your fault. But what is your fault is the fact that this offense looks exactly the same as last year's, with a few sprinkles of Kellen Moore concepts here and there, but not enough to actually make a difference. Either way, Philadelphia escapes from Cleveland with a measly 20 to 16 point victory. We faced the Giants, who, guess what? Their defense is actually really good at preventing teams from scoring, but they also have a shit offense. So I'm expecting yet another miserable watch, but I'll get to that on the preview section. But I'm done ranting about this win. Because I shouldn't feel miserable over a win, but somehow these Eagles just find a way to make me feel that way. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the next team that played. The Dallas Cowboys fall to 3-3 after losing to Detroit Lions, and this was the nail in the coffins. If you
I love that coaching from Aaron Glenn.
Here's Goff going for the end zone. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touch.
That was the nail in the coffin?
That was one of the many nails in the coffins, baby. Listen, have you ever seen the movie Zombieland when they say you got to double tap? The Detroit Lions were quadruple tapping to make sure the Cowboys stayed down.
It felt like they still are holding on to some grudges. But
oh, no, that was 100%.
It's weird because the grudges should have been against the refs, but I don't think this is like that ref crew. And
I don't think it was.
Well, you also have to remember this goes back to the Des Cotta year where they got screwed in our house too.
That's
so
true.
then and they haven't had that many playoff trips.
Is anyone in the house from that still?
No, but it's the fans, right? They've how many playoffs have they been to? You know what I mean? Like of course they're holding on to that.
Yeah.
So
now,
I mean it is.
Yeah. Now to Becky,
let's break down this masterpiece.
I'm going to let you break this down, but there is one thing that I want to say, because this game, there's been so much fallout after this game. I think the fallout's more interesting.
There's been a lot of things for sure.
Yeah, I think the fallout's been more interesting than what happened in the game outside of, trick plays out the ass.
Yeah. But
I'm going to let you take it away
before Bethke goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go play whatever. I don't care.
Where is it?
What are you going to play? Are you gonna play
exactly what they play like. I know you hear all them dings. I'm sure everybody texting and tweeting in right now trying to say, Negro, y'all got drone. Yeah. Yes, we did. I'm not answering any of that shit. They can beep all day. Won't get me. And I may even call in to work tomorrow with that thing they call the COVID.
Bro, a couple points about that before we dive into the actual game. Don't know what that whole his YouTube channel is for. I think he has an actual daily or weekly show on there, but it sounds like he's recording in a club, but I think it's his house.
No, I've seen it. I'm pretty sure it's like a bar. I think he has a partnership with a bar. I've seen a picture.
He's in an office,
where he's in a glass dome, and there's just a bunch of people drinking at a bar and tables and stuff around.
Okay.
So hilarious. I don't know what it is, because he was watching the Cowboys beat the Steelers there, and that's where that clip went viral, and then of course this is him reacting to this week.
Hilarious clip.
Why? Yeah, so we got to break down the all 22. I think the Cowboys were so close to winning this game. Really, there's just a couple of moments here and there where you felt like they had it. Honestly, the biggest thing that I think is important to know, because it's important to gamblers and it's important to people competing in the league this year. This team does not suck as bad as they suck when they suck, if that makes any sense. So be aware.
I know what you're saying.
Be aware of the fact that this team is going to hover around 500 the whole season. Don't just think this is about to die out. No, this stupid thing is going to keep going up, and then it's going to come back down. It's going to go up, it's going to come back down. It's going to go up, it's going to go back down. Honestly, we might actually 77-0 the 49ers next 2 weeks. And then what's the next home game? Oh, we got and then the Eagles are going to come into our house and 77-0 us, 2 weeks after that. Because that's the level of chaos that has been created with this potentially final version of the McCarthyism era. All of that to say, Detroit, whatever, good luck. I think it's a good team. You know what I mean? Y'all got some personal shit. Maybe y'all should take out with the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings. People who
just the refs, just hang out with the refs. But
yeah.
Man, the Aiden Hutchinson thing really sucks.
I hate that.
They would trade that win. They would trade that win immediately to have him for the rest of the year. For sure.
That's a big loss. Along the lines, the only thing the Cowboys thing that I thought was just funny, and it kind of made me feel better, or at least it made me turn the game off a little sooner and just kind of laugh at it more than really be mad at it. There was a point where they were there was a defensive line group that played quite a bit. None of them were on the active roster to start the season.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how you're supposed to handle anything. And then poor Diggs. No. So Diggs it's unfortunate. I think he's making some business decisions. He's pouting a little bit. Not super worried about Diggs long term. Just a little annoyed with the conversation that he's not helping.
Do you think he knows how to tackle?
Oh no, we've always known that Diggs is gonna tackle if the defense is good. If the defense ain't good, he's not gonna tackle. That's the
is he? Can he?
Yes, he can, and he will try when we're good. Now he still needs help. You still need to make sure we're good there, but he can and he will try when we're good.
Pretty sure that if his hands don't touch that ball, then that's a first down the other way, if not a touchdown.
He is not as bad about it historically, but it's been a problem, and I think he is a personality. For sure, you can tell the difference in the type of game. I know his brother. You can tell the difference in the type of game for him is when he's got that fire going. Diggs will hit somebody and play football, but he's not going to be the initiator. He's not going to be the first one to hit somebody. I'll put it that way. And
unfortunately, you guys got caught in in the wrong time frame for how like the game's played and teams are built. Where you guys were a little bit late to getting the small, quick defenders, and now you're just running a bunch of safeties around trying to cover the Mike Zimmer special. The Mike Zimmer special of having a safety or trying to have like a linebacker cover a slot corner who's just destroying them every play.
The thing about GM Jerry is you're always going to have a team that at best is 90% complete, and you better hope that 90 is really good.
It was a little bit of Schadenfreude / just. It was nice to see Mike Zimmer's defense in a game that didn't involve my team and be like, yeah, this does not work in today's NFL. This is right. It doesn't work.
And it's also like, but here's the excuses that keep it going when it should be already pulled plug.
You can't just play prevent defense an entire game. It doesn't work.
Exactly. And you have poor Marist jumping in for Kendricks because he gets hurt. So now you have a rookie with the signal calling thing in. You got Overshawn who plays amazing, but he's still so green as a football player that, like, you know, even on that highlight, that Laporta highlight, he could have ended that if he just makes a split decision, you know, just a little bit sooner, recognizes it, he can stop that play. And it's
you're one of 11. There's only you can't cover the entire field every play. Like
they're just growing, bro. The Diggs gets burnt on one, and that was probably the worst thing for Diggs is he got burnt on one, and I don't even know if it was him or the coverage, but the way he acted, it wasn't good. But the saddest thing, by all means, and then I really don't care about talking about it the rest, is not Prescott. They'll be fine. The receiving core, it sucks to an extent. Like, it's still a good core. Make it better. Stop playing the guys who don't deserve to play. Fumble or not, Flournoy is a talented kid. I'd rather go see him out there than Jalen Brooks. No offense, Jalen Brooks. You ran into my guy and caused a turnover, Jalen Brooks. I love you to death, but you keep doing it to yourself. The team is fine in that sense. The Prescott, whatever, he is who he is. The running game, you guys chose this path for us, and this is just where we're at. But the saddest thing that happened by country miles, Zach Martin had the worst game of his career, and it's coming off of a season where he's not looking like it. Honestly,
it's been underreported this year how he's looked.
It wouldn't surprise
so much
me.
other nonsense, but
remember how injured he was last year. Yeah. Maybe this is it. Just maybe
the injuries look like they're catching up to him. I think they showed it. I don't know if they showed it on the broadcast or if I heard it on a podcast somewhere. But he graded out at like an absolute 0 in terms of passing grade.
Yeah, he had the worst. He had the worst grade of his career, and probably one of the worst grades of the season or whatever. And that's just incredible. And it's not. And maybe the statistics are skewed against him because then how much is he being blamed for issues along the offensive line? And I don't know how that works.
He's being asked to help guys on either side of him.
I don't know how that works because this thing is all in limbo, and it's not even that it's that bad of an offensive line for what it needs to be. It's the fact that now with the run blocking scheme not seeming to come together, whatever it is, they have no ability to even have a scheme on offense that can make them hard at all to plan against.
Like the opposite of the 2012 Vikings, the MVP Adrian Peterson year, where they were just putting 11 in the box. It's like the opposite of that. It's like, do whatever you want to do from a running standpoint, you go ahead and try that. We'll just cover these passes.
It's weird how they made Dallas so they go into every game almost one-dimensional.
Caesar, here's where you're stopping yourself. They didn't do anything. This team chose this path for itself, from Jerry to Mike to Dak.
When I say they, I mean the
Cowboys.
Like how they made them so one-dimensional as a roster.
The Cowboy fans wanted an offense with an identity, and they got one.
They did get an identity, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, we can go into all of the hubbub since this is it for Cowboys talk about Jerry and the media, but like ultimately there really isn't anything else to do or say.
He got attention doing the same stuff he always does.
It's notable that it feels like it's getting under his skin, but it's a process of how much does he really want to take. And I always see the same argument. I tell you guys, I don't believe that this dude thinks he's losing because he's not playing the same game as the rest of us.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. The whole point is what is your definition of success? What is your definition of whatever? Yeah, so fans are always going to want the team to win. Fans don't care how much money you're pulling in. But my whole argument is you'll pull in exponentially more money with that franchise if you actually did the right thing and won something with
You
it.
would think. You would think that the logic of turning the Cowboys back into a dynasty, which really feels possible when you think about how well they draft and how like well things have developed, how much like they have good things around them.
If you were willing
the
to
home
spend
fan stuff is
$1,
annoying.
yes,
It's
you have
probably
to do
fixed
cash
if you're
spending.
good.
You have
But
to
if
do
you
it.
just
Good teams
spent
do it.
money on free agents and trade like literally at all, you might have bumblefucked into a Super Bowl appearance by now.
He created the cap and then didn't realize that everyone else was going to find ways, the tricks to beat it, and he just wants to just be in that cap still.
And the man thought the branding of the Dallas Cowboys was going to be so strong that it would make people
for his wallet,
take.
it is.
Well, it is though,
Yeah.
Caesar. I mean,
Yeah,
for
no,
his
but
purposes, it is. But for
No, no,
players,
but-
you're right. But for players, it matters to some extent. But if they're not going to offer contracts, Derrick Henry would have signed with the Cowboys over the Ravens. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, he lived in
But where's
DFW.
the offer?
Yeah.
That's always the situation. There's never an offer.
Don't even know if there was even a talk.
Yeah, there's never even reports.
No,
of it. Most of these guys say that they just get ghosted.
Yeah, he
Or
said
that
he
they'll
didn't
make a
hear.
lowball offer at best.
Yeah. And for those that may have picked up on what Becky said or Patrick about the media with Jerry, I believe yesterday morning this man threatened to fire the worst hosts in sports talk radio in the DFW.
Yeah, it was a double-edged
and here's the
sword
thing.
for
They're not
No,
my
they are.
favorite, but I think there's got to be worse.
Sean and RJ are the worst. I don't care.
There's only 2 channels now, so it is tough.
They are absolutely the worst. They're like these fucking grifters who.
I've at least
well,
heard their
Sean
names,
is.
so I assumed they're better than everyone else on that channel.
I would say that they're the stereotype. They're the default stock Cowboy fan go-to.
I mean, it's the flagship station. That's kind of they have to.
Yeah. They are state propaganda. That's the best part about Jerry saying that is this is state propaganda.
And that's
sure.
exactly how dictatorships work.
Yeah. And then you have the guy.
Jerry doesn't know what a dictatorship is. He's a capitalist. How could he be a dictator? He's a capitalist. That doesn't work. He doesn't. That doesn't. Come on. But that's different.
I think my philosophy is all humans are fascists. Just some people don't realize it.
Some people have the ability to utilize that.
I mean, that's the Ayn Rand political philosophy. That.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
And then,
somebody else take this.
Yeah, no.
I mean, honestly, the Jerry Jones conversation does kind of deserve almost warrant to dip into that. But yeah, not for time's sake.
Who are you talking to? Because which Jerry is it? There's 9 Jerrys. There's GM, there's owner, there's the entertainer, and he doesn't tell you which one you're talking to at the time, and they might shift between a few. Sorry.
Yeah,
Caesar.
and you're good. The Jerry that did show up was very similar to this guy right here.
Playing with my name. I ain't
go
gonna
right
say
on
it
in.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my fucking name. All 3 of y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
And honestly, he might say that word for word. I could see it.
And there was 3 people that were playing with his name.
I could only hope that we could get him to a point where he would say that.
I see him closer to
live TV.
Marlo just being like, "My name is my fucking name."
My
Oh,
name
you want?
is my
Oh, you
name.
want? You want to catch Jerry saying the word that?
Yes, I would love. I would love.
My favorite meme from that game was the pictures of him in the press box, and Jerry looks like he just saw a school integrate or whatever.
Those are the best ones.
Which again, I don't agree with because I still have yet to see a convincing photo of him upset this season.
Upset? Oh yeah.
In the press box.
We've
In the
only
press
heard.
box. In the presser after he'll get a little red in the face and be like, get all flustered. But like when he's in the press box, I'm sorry, he is not. This man is not giving me conviction. I'm not believing it anymore, Jerry Bear. You need to get better acting chops because now I know you're fucking with me.
Yeah. No, he did genuinely sound annoyed during that little audio clip.
Oh yeah, the audio clip. He was mad.
Yeah. No, I'm begging you, Jared. Just go ahead and get those 3 fired. Well, 2. Well, no, you can fire Bobby Bell too. I don't really care for him either. You can get so much better talent.
Yeah.
Bobby can be a little annoying sometimes, but he is really good at what he does.
That's their job.
Anyway, that concludes the review of the week that was, and we're going to finish.
We also need to highlight one great thing about the Dallas Cowboys right now. They don't play this next week.
They're on a bye. They can't ruin your Sunday, Cowboys
they
fans.
really can't ruin any Sundays this year, Caesar. But I hear you.
You just wait. Jerry's gonna find his way in the news somehow on Sunday, and we'll see how he does it.
No. They can literally, that doesn't even. Only thing he can do that it could actually legitimately surprise me and blow my mind is make a trade. Literally, that's it. If pull a trade out of your ass, anybody, literally anybody. I don't even care if it's a stupid trade. Just fucking do it. Just have the balls to swing the fucking bat. Bro.
It wouldn't ruin your day to find out that he made Mike Zimmer the head coach.
No, I mean honestly, because like at this point, I don't know. I tread into
he's not going.
I tread into the same waters no matter what. No,
would that ruin your day?
I don't care if they lose every game moving forward. I want McCarthyism until it's over. I want McCarthyism until the contract runs out. Without a doubt, no questions asked. And you know what? I will argue Mike deserves that because he gave us 3 great years, compared to Jason's just entire decade of fuck you economics, essentially, in my mind. So I think Mike deserves to have that same,
Caesar, I've got the perfect little ending clip for this real quick.
Wait.
It's currently processing. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
It should be done very soon. I meant to do this earlier. Here's how we're going to end talking about the Cowgirls. It's the most quiet I've ever. Yeah, the most quiet that man's ever been. Yeah, that was right after the game. Ed Warder tweeted that video out.
I was waiting for something, and I'm just like, what?
That's how bad it was for him. He didn't say a word.
I still didn't believe it. I still am not convinced.
Yeah, no,
because they're gonna go 8-8 or 9, or they're gonna go 9-8, and then get like the 7th seed, and he's gonna get playoff money, and he's gonna be like, "I told you guys."
Yeah, but he still doesn't feel good about basically the second worst loss of his entire tenure at home.
He cares more about putting money into John Calipari's Arkansas basketball team than the Cowboys.
Yeah, but you still don't want to have to talk to your friends about how bad your team got beat.
No, he deserves to talk to him about that every day of his life.
There you go. All right, now we're gonna move on to the watch it, skip it, and train wreck
I'm sorry,
games
guys.
of the week.
Watch it, skip it, or raise it on train wreck. I don't really care about the Jaguars. Don't wanna cave to cowboy propaganda. So please tell me, what should I do? Welcome to a new kind of segment all across the interweb nation, where every game is meant for you to watch. Television full of choices. We've got one that we should follow. Well, see, what should we do?
I have to say, that's miles better than Canadian Idiot. No offense, Weird Al. It just wasn't your best one.
All right, I'm going to make a petition
that was
right
the
now.
tail end of him making albums, full-length albums, and he's talked about it where pop music kind of just wasn't made for parodying anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well, I'm going to make a petition right now, Patrick, that stays the theme song.
I'll keep it in the rotation. I do like making them. So
fair enough. I love it.
And I think I did a good enough job of playing it poorly to where we can get around the copyrights.
There you go. Well,
guys, my God, why are the Mets fans are having a tough night? But continue.
Yeah, they always have a tough night, man. It's not an easy life being a Mets fan. Now, guys, the watch it, skip it train wreck. There's not as many games this week. Just because I looked at the matchups and nothing was really standing out one way or the other, except for a handful.
These are good calls.
And I thought, you know what? These might be the most impressive games for the watch it. First off, Texans at Packers. You have a battle of two young, talented quarterbacks with wildly different playing styles. You have the amalgamation of like Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre with wheels, and Jordan Love.
He's got like the creativity of Aaron Rodgers, but the fuck it of Favre.
That's right. And the wheels that neither one had themselves.
I mean, Rodgers was decent, but yeah, he's faster. I mean, Love is taking it up.
I feel
a
like
notch
young
for sure.
Favre, we don't remember or give credit
Yeah,
to
no,
his scramble
that's true.
abilities.
That's true.
He
Yeah,
wasn't a
young
straight up
Favre-
runner. You're right. He was not a straight up runner.
But
But
for that point, he was kind of fat. He was a lot faster than the quarterbacks of the position at the time.
or at least he was willing to do it.
Other than like Steve Young, you would have been like, you would have been
Randall
like
Cunningham.
Or Cunningham. You had to have been like the specific type.
Yeah, back in those
As far as pocket passers, I guess.
Yeah. But you have, of course, CJ Stroud, who dissects, defenses from the pocket himself, and he can run. He just chooses not to. You got just a lot of offense on this game, potentially that can come out. And neither defense is particularly amazing, though they do have really talented parts of the roster on defense. Like the Texans have a great defensive line in terms of talent. And the Packers, they have talent just kind of scattered throughout the place, especially in the secondary. So something's got to give here. The Texans, though, they've been a little shaky this season. Even in some of their wins, they don't feel necessarily super convincing. But they have a chance to go to Lambeau and make a statement and start, working their way towards building something of themselves for a contending spot in the AFC. And then, of course, you can say the same thing about the Packers. They're trying to, keep up pace with both the Lions and with the Vikings in the NFC North, which is the best division in football by record and by point differential, by any kind of metric, really. Something's got to give in this game. It's worth watching. If you don't root for either team, or if you hate both teams, it's a quality game. But with the horn that just sounded, it's letting me know it's time to talk about the second candidate for must watch, and it is an NFC North extravaganza, baby. We got the Lions at the Vikings. We have the Lions coming off their most impressive win of the season against the Minnesota Vikings, coming off their bye. And you look at this game, and you're thinking, all right, Jared Goff versus Sam Darnold, not the sexiest matchup in the league. However, both guys have been playing pretty well this season. And you look at their offensive weapons, and they've been doing so well carrying these guys through to successful, to this point, standings in the NFC. Now, how the Lions respond to Aiden Hutchinson's injury will be something to watch. That defense is already shaky to begin with. Do the Vikings send the house against the Detroit Lions? Jared Goff, who he has plenty of weapons to throw to, Amon-Ra St. Brown in the short to intermediate. You have Jameson Williams, Teep.
Brian Flores, we were sending the house.
You're not wrong.
But are you stopping the run? Are you stopping the run, making it possible for you to get to Jared Goff? That is
the question there. And we'll see, because this is going to be Minnesota's biggest test of the season, more so than even the 49ers were earlier in the year.
Packers were a pretty big one too in Lambeau.
Packers was a little weird, but because it was like Jordan Love come back, then Jordan Love almost come back, and then it was just kind of
right. And so, but I think this one will solidify, I believe, Minnesota's kind of where we think of Minnesota in the landscape of the NFL in terms of, are they for real? Because I think they are for real. As much as Patrick doesn't want anybody to pay any attention to his Minnesota Vikings.
I think it's the last kind of missing piece right now is we need Hawkinson back, because I still don't know what the offense really is yet. We don't have our tight end, and that's a huge piece. So I'll be happy to see what that looks like when it's fully functional, and if that's still when they have everybody and it looks good against good teams, then I'll feel a little bit better. But I'm just happy to take it as it is. No expectations.
Skull.
There you go. That 9-8 is still in play for you, Patrick. If you're trying to win the predictions,
this is the week that starts the trend.
Now,
and Becky secretly continues to be pretty dang good at that. He's only gotten one wrong on his predictions.
What did I give? I ended up giving them like 10 and 7 or something.
12 and
right?
5.
12 and 5. Oh, well, that's definitely not happening.
I
that was just being positive, Mr. Positive guy.
You've guessed everything right except for week 2, so. Me and Caesar are both sitting on 2.
I did expect early fuckery, but things have been much worse than I've expected in many ways. So I'm going to go
3, and you're 5 and 1.
I'm glad that I was right about the start. I am unfortunately not convinced that will continue. I think there were some factors that have changed in the weeks since.
More information has become.
You have them winning the next 2 off the bye, and that sounds like the Cowboys that I know. They'll come out after the bye and look better, and everyone will say, "Hey, it looks better."
I hear you, but there's also the whole fact that like it's just an avalanche of problems to solve.
It's the NFC East, man.
No, I get that. That's where I'm still saying 9 and 8 playoff seed.
I'm saying it's the NFC East. Like every team is like, we're the worst team in football, but also we're probably going to win our division. So,
well, everybody except the Giants. They can't say that.
If the commies fuck it up this year, that's their fault because it's theirs to take.
Did we talk about their big injury?
Did I miss it?
No, I mean we didn't have to. But
yeah.
What is their big injury? Because I wasn't paying attention outside of the box score.
1 second, I always forget people's names.
Because I was stuck in traffic during the
new defensive guy.
Yeah,
or during that time.
Dorrance Armstrong.
Oh, Dorrance.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, Dorrance was good for them. Was it severe?
No, wait. Who am I thinking of?
I mean, Dorrance wasn't a big deal. He's playing well. He played well for us. I wish they would have kept him because it was kind of obvious he was useful. But cheap ass can be cheap.
Well, let me look at their injury report here.
Gotten so bad lately.
Oh yeah, the Googleizer.
Are you Jonathan Allen? That's who you're talking about.
You.
Oh,
Jonathan Allen.
Yeah,
okay, and it's season.
That's the big one.
He's on IR actually.
Yeah.
So
he's out for the year.
Okay, let me check my picks again this week.
That's yeah. Yeah.
And then George Armstrong is questionable with a rib injury. Brian Robinson Jr. Wow! Their entire
I still think they'll handle Carolina no problem, but I think the rest of the season might not go as well.
Well,
yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting to know.
We'll see.
That's unfortunate.
They played Baltimore tough, and that's pretty impressive. Now let's go to the skip it portion. Gentlemen, these 2 games absolutely suck. You mentioned the Jags in your song. The Jags are indeed part of this.
They got a home game this week, though.
Yeah, in London.
Yes.
They get back-to-back weeks in London, which
it's not fair.
Do you think the British people hate the Patriots specifically because of history, or they like them because of Tom Brady?
I think they'd be more likely to like it ironically than to hate it.
Yeah, that's fair.
They don't care about the way the Americans talk about the British and that's our big deal. Like they don't care about us. They don't think about us at all. They watch.
I don't think that's true.
But not like that. But not in that way. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
That's our big rival.
Well, not like as in we're the country that got away, I suppose.
Yeah, India has way more people that they lost.
Facts, yeah.
And also the thing with America is there's so many other the Dutch, the French, the Spanish. It's not just the British that did.
Okay, we do we blame them the most for funsies.
It's so easy to get under their skin. That's why.
I don't care. Patrick just wants to be ruled by a king and a queen.
No, thankfully for the king and queen of England, who I think, well, maybe the king's not 6 feet under yet, but they don't have
he's
to
alive. Now they had to. I noticed because I didn't think about this till I saw an NFL London game. They had to change the song from "God Save the Queen" back to "God Save the King," which is the original lyrics.
Oh, that's funny.
But not the Sex Pistols version.
No.
Okay. No. I just didn't know if there's a country they decided to modernize or not.
No, I have no idea. But yeah, guys, this game sucks.
No, actually, with Brexit, they kind of went the other direction.
No. I don't have anything to say on this game. If you want to see 2 1-5 teams go up against each other at like 8 a.m, you're a real sick freak and you need help. Skip this game.
Or you really are hoping Drake May's the future of your franchise.
Which, he has nobody to throw to, so it's still, again, you sick fuck.
And if you're actually one of the fans of the teams, the other two teams you're talking about, you're thinking about, can my team trade for Trevor Lawrence on the low next offseason?
Herbert.
Maybe.
Dak Prescott.
They might. All of the above could be available.
What if he demands out?
Well, we need to know how that Dak Prescott contract was laid out. Because I don't know.
It's up to him. It's up to him.
He ain't going nowhere.
Well, it's up to him for the decision-making part. So, I think now with the quarterbacks thing, I don't think any of the quarterbacks' contracts can't be traded because it's such a coveted thing. As long as you're not complete Deshaun Watson. Yeah, unless Deshaun Watson, you have to be that extreme, I think, for the situation. Because even Jared Goff's bad contract was useful for a little bit. And now
it also worked out because Stafford was they were both paid a lot, so it wasn't like either one was getting hurt by that.
Yeah. And it worked out for both teams coincidentally. But anyway, speaking of Matt Stafford, his Rams take on the Raiders in a just toilet bowl matchup. The Rams are still, I believe, without any of their star receivers. So Matthew Stafford's just really throwing to a bunch of nobodies. Then the Raiders they don't have anybody on offense and they have nobody.
They lost their star receiver.
Yeah, they lost their star receiver and they have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew as
maybe they can start that conditional pick.
Right. Now, if anything, this is a battle to see who gets to battle it out for, I don't know, say Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders.
I think the Rams are still hanging on to the thread that they can be the 9-8 7th seed or something like that,
They're just such in bad position to try to make up ground is the problem.
But I mean, I don't know. Is the NFC not a goofy enough?
Yeah,
they're 1-4 right now. It's and it doesn't look like it's gonna get any better.
It's a tough start, but I do feel like this is 2-4. That's at least a little bit closer. You just kind of have to keep moving in the right direction. Arizona might be fucking stupid, so just take care of it next time.
Yeah, they have the Vikings after this game, so it's and then the Seahawks, which is a tough, divisional opponent. But then their schedule gets
Smith
easier.
Is trying to give games away.
Look, every week the Vikings win again, there's a better chance to lose the next one because no team's going undefeated. So,
maybe. But listen, they have the Rams have 4 winnable games right after they play the Seahawks. They play the Miami Dolphins. They go to the Patriots. The Eagles are good to disappoint me in November. I know they are. It's going to happen. And then they play the Saints. They could go 4-0 in that stretch. So
it's hard to tell what some of those teams will look like by then. But yeah.
And they got at least one more against the Cardinals.
Which
again, one against the Jets.
But some of these teams could be much better. I mean, the Jets still, there's an argument that they could be a better team.
Their season's done by that point, the Jets.
Maybe. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's that far
Christmas
off.
weekend.
Yeah.
This is more Rams talk than I planned on having. But it just lets you know, everybody at home watching, that this is not worth your time to watch this game. There's nothing good about it. With that said, gentlemen, my vote for the must-skip game. Pats and Jags, because that's just I'm not waking up early for that one. Yeah, just skip it. Just sleep in. Right.
I'll be awake and watching it. Only because I always wake up early, and that's the only thing to do at 8:30 on a Sunday morning besides go to church. So I'll probably just end up watching Pats and Jags instead.
You could go to a nice breakfast place.
Going to football church.
If those are my two options, probably picking that one. And I'll hate it because those games are always terrible. They're like Thursday night football games on Sunday.
Yeah. Nice. And then Bethke, did you pick one?
Yeah, but don't watch either game.
There we go. The winner is no one wins. Trainwreck. There's only one game that I thought this is gonna suck. But it might be a good hate watch. It might be one of these
No.
Put your sicko hat on.
Don't even. No, you're not going to sit through Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit choking through Broncos
put it on
Saints.
Mute. Put it on mute or whatever you got to do. But listen, this game, everything about it screams train wreck. From the announcing, like Bethke is alluding to the quality of the play, to the quarterbacks, everything. It's Thursday night. Nothing about what is being put together in this cauldron of shit screams that it's going to be a smooth game.
Are they?
This might be the biggest
Are
train
the
wreck
Saints
game.
as bad? I don't know.
The
I'm
Broncos
so
are like
confused
the
about
version
these
of
two
what
teams.
they used to be when we were growing up, where they were just
Because here's the thing: the Saints are
laughable.
rolling out a rookie quarterback, so it's two rookie quarterbacks going up against each other on a short week.
Yeah, how did
Thursday
Rattler
night
do last
football?
week?
There's nothing fun about this game. I feel like.
I don't think Rattler had a chance because that game was a fucking barn burner.
Oh man, well, you know he'll get a chance to go up against one of the better defenses in the league. That's gonna make him look not good. And then the Saints defense isn't exactly terrible. They're not great either, but I'm sure they can make Bo Nix really question himself. All in all, this is just screams train wreck game. The NFL, if this game is bad and delivers bad ratings, it's what you get. It's what you deserve.
I think the only other one that could even be an option, Chargers Cardinals, could just.
I think that one's gonna be boring.
Cardinals know how to put up points, although Marvin Harrison's going to be out, so who knows?
Yeah.
I actually don't know if he's going to be out, but I bet he's going to be out because I don't know if y'all saw what happened to Marvin Harrison. He did classic stand up, take half of a step, get jelly legs, fall back down, and the other team was like immediately calling for help. So
that's not good.
Yeah.
Can you find out what if anything's been reported on that injury?
Last I saw it was questionable. He's on my fantasy team, so I've been sort of keeping up. They're saying he's likely to miss the game still.
I would definitely like.
It doesn't sound like he's gonna come back this week, but they're not officially saying that until they have to.
All right. Well, with that said, we're at the finish line. We're gonna go ahead and preview the games that are coming up. There's only two because Cowboys are on a bye.
It's kind of wild how that worked out. Just bye week. That was crazy.
Yeah, I love the coincidence there. It's like when we first started the show and all of our teams made the playoffs the same year. Now, guys, we're gonna start off with the least interesting matchup here, and it's also the 12 o'clock game. It's Eagles at Giants. Now, as you all know, Eagles. Nick Sirianni is a jackass. The vibes around this team are bad. The offense doesn't look great. The defense, well, guess what? They had a get-right game against Deshaun Watson. Now they get another get-right game against Daniel Jones. But can they contain Malik Neighbors? I don't fucking know. I don't think so. That said, this is the problem with this game. It's going to be a low-scoring affair for the sole fact that Sexy Dexy of the New York Giants is going to wreak havoc on the interior. He actually, I believe, is second in the NFL in sacks with 7. A guy who was never known as a pass rusher coming out of college is an elite pass rushing defensive tackle now. He's going to fuck your day up. And he's going to fuck my day up, probably. Now, the rest of the Giants defense is not that great. But that defensive line has been getting a lot better as the season's worn on. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you're looking at strength versus strength, offensive line versus defensive line, Jalen Hurts, he gets his 2 weapons back. And guess what? He looked every bit the Jalen Hurts that we know. He spams his 2 guys. Dallas Goedert's out of this game. So really, it's just A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith for 95% of the target share. And maybe, just maybe, Saquon Barkley goes off against his old team. I can only hope. On the defensive side, Daniel Jones continues to be mediocre. They have 1 weapon and 1 weapon only.
First time Saquon's played the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to change my pick.
And here's what's going on.
About that.
Here's what's going to happen.
Becky picks the Giants.
Just to go ahead and pick the Giants. I wouldn't blame you. It
was more of a hate pick, but I'm not allowed to pick the Chargers Cardinals game on the thing.
Oh, weird.
Well,
Patrick takes care of that. Let me tell you all about this, though. It's Malik Neighbors versus Quinyon Mitchell. I'm excited for that matchup, particularly because it's the future of the New York Giants offense versus the future of the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. Quinion Mitchell has been probably the most impressive rookie defensive back. I will have to do some research to see if anybody else has been as good. I'm sure somebody has to be. But he's been the lone bright spot for me personally as an Eagles fan. So that should be the interesting matchup to watch. All in all, I think the Eagles should win this game. Will they? Who fucking knows? 14-13 is the score in this game. It's a nail-biter in an ugly game at MetLife Field, and I hope that stadium burns to the fucking ground.
I still kind of want to pick the Giants just because, like, I envision a world where this is Kellen Moore's week.
To do what?
To fuck up Saquon's return.
Oh, I thought you meant to become the head coach because I'm like, hey.
I'm like, what? I'm just thinking, what could fuck up this obvious story of Saquon running all over his old team?
An Achilles.
It's Kellen Moore. Well, I'm not going to root for injury. I mean,
you're what you're rooting for. I'm just saying that's the only thing I could see working out.
I mean, I want to root for bad. I have to creatively root for ways for the Eagles to have bad things happen to them without it being injuries. You know, that's the line we have to
missed
draw.
Flight.
That is true.
Yeah, missed flights are nice. Hangovers, teammates fighting over podcasts. Any of it's good for me.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, what is Anonymous Liger?
I think because we have some of the cells protected, it like hides who you are when you're in the sheet.
Ah, okay. Anyway,
because I see, that's Bethke. You're the anonymous narwhal.
Love that.
I am the walrus.
Bethke, you should be able to make your last pick now.
I am the walrus. Go.
I can't make the pick. I can't.
No, it says buck meat still.
One second.
All right, while you're doing that,
we'll play with this after.
Just put LAC. Fuck it.
I will go ahead and start the preview for the Vikings-Lions game. So, in this game, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We already alluded to some of the matchups here, some of the underlying storylines, right? The loss of Aiden Hutchinson, coming off a big win, still kind of feels like a moral loss in terms of losing one of your best players. You have the Vikings, red hot, 5-0 start, coming off their bye week. Still a lot to prove. Mostly kind of not to themselves, I don't think. I think they think they're a good team, and they should feel that way. But maybe to the rest of the league, what's going to happen in this game? First and foremost, there is two, I think, diverging paths in this game, right? One path is you have an absolute barn burner, Big 12 style matchup where the ball is just getting aired out, points galore, and then on the other diverging path, Brian Flores calls a masterful defense. Jared Goff struggles against the blitz, throws a bunch of picks, and the Vikings win in convincing fashion. I don't see a world where the Lions dominate the Vikings unless Sam Darnold reverts back to a complete pumpkin and just gives a bunch of pick sixes. Then and only then can I see that happening, but I just don't see that as the two most likely outcomes in this game. So that said, I'm going to pick that this game goes into a shootout. I'm thinking 31-28 in favor of what I think is the better team for the week. I think the Lions beat the Vikings. Vikings get their first loss of the season. I'm not 100% confident in that, though. Patrick, this is your team, though. You talk about them while I make my picks on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I mean, this could go either way. It's in Minnesota, so I would think we'd have a little advantage. Obviously, with Hutchinson being out and with us having a bye week. Is it Hutchinson or Hutchins? Now I don't remember. Aiden? Anyways.
Hutchinson, yeah.
Thanks. Him being out obviously makes things a little bit different. Obviously, the team around him is really good too. That helps improve his stats. I would probably expect us to win a close one here, just if everything plays out on paper. But I wouldn't be surprised if they win by 4 or 3. That also makes sense to me. So I'm kind of right down the middle of it. You don't want to lose a home division game, but if you're going to have to lose a game soon, Detroit's a team that makes sense.
Well, there you go, everybody. We have concluded the football segment this week. It's been a long one. A lot of news, a lot of things that we had to talk about. Great episode as always, though. Shout out to Patrick again for the incredible Squatch It, Skip It Trainwreck song of the week.
I'm glad y'all liked that one. It does get weird. I'm not a big singer, so
it's okay.
I appreciate the positive responses.
you did a great job.
You're doing perfect. You just don't want to try to go too crazy. Don't do any Take On Me remixes or anything.
God, no.
Maybe
there will be no Mariah Carey. There will be no nothing.
Wait a
nothing. I've got more of a Willie Nelson 3-note range.
Listen. Wait a minute. I will offer up my vocals to do a "We Belong Together" parody for Watch It, Skip It Trainwreck.
We belong together.
Watch It, Skip It Trainwreck. There you go.
Not terrible.
There you go. But anyway, yeah, I got nothing else, guys. The only thing that we have left is the outro, and I have to give credit. Because we give credit to the people whose content that we use, and that is Trap House Sports with our outro for this week.
I don't think this was Trap House Sports, by the way.
It was. It was. Yeah.
Debate.
So I don't know actually. Is he the same dude who does the depressed Cowboys fan Twitter account?
That's the same guy.
Damn! Shout out Chicken Coleman, one of the funniest Twitter follows ever, bro. I didn't know that was him. That's crazy. Yeah, no, that dude is hella funny, but he's probably one of the most wild follows on Twitter, bar none. You don't know what's coming on the TL with that man, so be careful. But I like to make fun of the Cowboys. It's great.
Like, subscribe, stay tuned. We'll be back next week. Hook 'em. Skull.
Dak, bring it home. He's right.
Go mean green.
Bring it home.
Man, here we go again. This team ain't gonna never win. I'm ashamed to be a fan. Got me lying to my friends. Louis belt straight to ass. Dak cannot complete a pass. CD Lamb been playing trash. Man, how long is this gonna last? Damn. Get it, Jerry. Yeah. Quit it, Jerry. Yeah. Retire, Jerry. Yeah. We gotta fire Jerry. Yeah. Boy, you know this team super bad. I ain't lying. No. Every week we taking belt to ass. That shit pissed me. That cannot complete a simple pass. What he trying to? Man, how long is this shit gonna last? Who you throwing? Took a 40 ball, beating 2 times is like a sequence. Wow. Dak, who you throwing to? He threw it to the defense. I'm like, Dak, who you throwing it to? He threw it to the ops. I'm like, Dak, you gotta stop. Dak, go to the barber shop. Get that hairline fixed. And maybe you'll stop throwing picks. And maybe CD Lamb will stop being the diva and he'll stop throwing fits. And maybe Mike McCarthy will be on the sideline wearing some clothes that fit. And maybe Jerry Jones just might retire because he old as shit.